Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going deep on data virtualization. You all know RDBMS already, so we're going beyond that. Think like real-time insights for your business, amazing customer experiences, stronger data security.
Yeah, exactly. Taking data usage to a whole new level, really.
So the problem, we've all seen it, data silos. They make it so hard to get a complete picture of what's happening. And those traditional methods, things like ETL, they're slow, they're expensive, and often they just end up creating even more silos, right?
Well, absolutely. And that's exactly where data virtualization comes in. It's a way to connect all your different data sources. Without actually moving the data around, think of it as a single point of access for all your data, wherever it is, whatever format it's in.
So instead of physically moving data, you create a virtual layer that acts as like a single access point.
Precisely. And that virtual layer can connect to, well, all sorts of sources, your operational databases, your cloud data warehouses, even your spreadsheets. It creates that unified view of your data without the hassle and cost of physically moving it.
That sounds like a game changer, especially when you think about how much time, how much effort companies waste on data integration.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's look at some use cases, see how this actually works. One of their most popular applications of data virtualization is in agile business intelligence, or, self-service BI.
Okay, so instead of waiting for IT to run reports, business users can access and analyze data themselves in real time.
Exactly. Imagine this. You're tracking your sales figures live as they come in, identifying trends as they happen, and being able to adjust your marketing campaigns instantly. Or let's say you're a logistics company. You could use data virtualization to combine real-time data from your delivery trucks with weather data, traffic updates. You could optimize delivery routes, improve your efficiency, like that.
That kind of responsiveness, that's something traditional BI just can't match.
Right. It gives you that real-time visibility into your business operations, lets you make quicker, more informed decisions.
Now, what about customer experience? Every company I talk to, they're trying to create that personalized, Amazon-like experience.
And data virtualization is a key part of that. With data virtualization, you can create a complete, a 360-degree view of every single customer. You're pulling data from your CRM, your marketing automation platform, your website analytics, any relevant source.
So instead of having all that customer information fragmented, scattered across different systems, you have a single unified view.
Exactly. And that allows you to, you understand your customers better, you personalize their interactions, and you provide a much more seamless and satisfying experience. Think about it. A customer calls your support line with a question. With that 360-degree view, your agent instantly sees their purchase history, past interactions, even their preferences. They can provide much more personalized and efficient service.
It's all about connecting those dots, using the information to create a more customer-centric experience.
Absolutely. And that data-driven approach can have a huge impact on customer loyalty and retention.
Now let's talk data governance and security. Data breaches are becoming so common. I know this is a major concern for businesses. How does data virtualization actually help?
Well, it acts as that single point of control for all your data. It becomes much easier to enforce security policies, comply with regulations. You can control who has access to what data. You can mask sensitive information, and you can track all data usage.
So instead of managing security across a dozen different systems, you have one central point of control.
Precisely. This simplifies data governance, helps ensure your data is always protected. And, with data privacy regulations becoming more strict, this level of control is essential.
It's not just about protecting your company from data breaches. It's about protecting your customers' data, building trust.
Absolutely. Data virtualization gives you the tools to manage your data responsibly and ethically.
Okay, so we've covered some compelling use cases, but can you give us some actual examples? Companies using data virtualization to solve real problems.
Certainly. Let's start with Festo. They're a global company. They specialize in industrial automation. They were facing, the classic data silo challenge. They had valuable data spread across multiple systems. It was tough for them to get a holistic view of their operations.
They needed a way to bring all that data together without all the complexity and cost of traditional data integration.
Exactly. And that's where data virtualization came in. They implemented a solution to create what they call a data marketplace. It's a central hub where anyone in the company can easily access and analyze data from all those different sources.
Like an internal data store. where people can shop for the information they need without having to navigate through a maze of systems and databases.
That's a great way to put it. And this data marketplace, it's been a game changer for them. Real-time insights into their business, quicker and smarter decisions. They can track production metrics, identify bottlenecks, optimize their supply chain, all in real time.
So it's not just about making data accessible. It's about using it to drive real business value.
Precisely. Festo is a great example of how data virtualization can empower an organization to become truly data-driven.
Now, Festo is a large manufacturing company, but this can be just as valuable for companies in other industries, right?
Absolutely. Take Get Smarter, for example. They provide online courses. They were experiencing rapid growth, and their data architecture was becoming, well, very complex. They needed a single, unified view of their student data to improve their support and services.
They were facing that fragmented data challenge, weren't they? Student information spread across all of these systems, making it difficult to get a complete picture of the student lifecycle.
Exactly. They wanted to understand the entire student journey, from enrollment to course completion and beyond. And of course, they wanted to make sure they were complying with all the data privacy regulations, which is a major concern for any company dealing with student data.
They needed a solution that was not only technically sound, but addressed their data privacy and security concerns as well.
Precisely. And they found that solution in data virtualization. They used it to create a single unified view of their student data, pulling information from their CRM, their learning management system, and other sources.
So it's like having a master profile for each student, detailing their enrollment, course progress, their interactions with support staff, every touch point in their learning journey.
Exactly. This gives Get Smarter a much richer understanding of their students, allows them to provide personalized support, and tailor their services to meet individual needs.
That's a great example of how data virtualization can be used to improve customer experience, even in a complex online environment.
Absolutely. And it really highlights the versatility of data virtualization. It can be applied to such a wide range of business challenges across industries and company sizes.
We've covered a lot of ground already. And it's clear data virtualization offers a powerful way to tackle some of the biggest data challenges businesses face today. But I'm curious, I want to dig a little deeper into the technical side of things.
I'm happy to explore that further. What aspects are you interested in?
We've talked about data virtualization as a concept, but what does it actually look like in practice? What are the nuts and bolts of implementing a solution?
Well, implementing a data virtualization solution, it usually involves a few key steps.
Okay, let's break it down.
The first step is identifying all the data sources you want to virtualize. Could be your databases, cloud storage, applications, even spreadsheets, basically anywhere your data lives.
So it's like creating a comprehensive inventory of all the data sources that are relevant to your business.
Exactly. Once you have a clear picture of your data, your data landscape, you can start defining the virtual views you need.
And these virtual views, they act as a kind of interface. They hide the complexity of all those underlying sources from the users.
Precisely. Users can query those views without needing to know the specifics of each data source. It's like having a simplified, unified view of all your data.
So it's not just about accessing data, it's making it easier to actually understand and use it.
Absolutely. And the beauty of data virtualization is you can define those complex transformations, joins, aggregations within those virtual views, all without physically moving the data.
So you can perform pretty sophisticated data manipulations, create custom views tailored to specific business needs.
Exactly. And that brings us to the next step, choosing the right data virtualization platform. There's several platforms out there, each with its own set of features and capabilities.
Can you give us an idea of what to look for in a data virtualization platform?
Sure. Some key things to consider: the types of data sources the platform can connect to, the ease of creating and managing those virtual views, the performance and scalability of the platform, and of course, the security features it offers.
So you need to choose a platform that really aligns with your specific requirements, can handle the volume, the complexity of your data.
Precisely. Now, once you've chosen a platform, the next step is to deploy and configure the solution. This typically involves, installing the software, connecting to your data sources, and setting up those virtual views.
And I imagine this is where the technical expertise really comes in. It's not something you can just do overnight.
It does require some technical knowledge, yes, but a lot of platforms are designed to be user-friendly. Intuitive interfaces, tools that simplify the process, Some platforms even offer pre-built connectors and templates to accelerate the implementation.
This is becoming more accessible to organizations that might not have, extensive IT resources.
Absolutely. And once the solution is up and running, you'll need to monitor its performance and make adjustments as needed. Things like optimizing queries, caching data, ensuring the system's secure.
It's an ongoing process, not just a one-time setup.
That's right. Data virtualization is a journey, not a destination. Requires continuous monitoring, optimization to make sure it's meeting your evolving business needs.
We've talked a lot about the technical side, but I want to come back to the business value. Can you talk about how data virtualization can help organizations, become more data-driven, gain a competitive advantage?
Of course. Data virtualization breaks down those silos, makes information more accessible to everyone in the organization. This empowers business users to make better decisions faster. It also streamlines data governance, strengthens security, reduces risks, ensures compliance, and ultimately it allows organizations to extract more value from their data.
So it's not just about the technology. It's about changing how people think about and use data.
Precisely. It's about creating a data-driven culture where everyone has the insights they need to succeed.
Now, we've talked about some use cases like Agile BI, customer experience, but what are some other areas where data virtualization is having an impact?
Well, one area that's really interesting is big data and cloud analytics. Organizations are accumulating massive amounts of data in data lakes and cloud data warehouses. They need a way to access and analyze all that data without getting bogged down by the technical complexities.
So data virtualization can act as a bridge between traditional data systems and those new big data platforms.
Exactly. You can connect to those platforms, query the data, integrate it with data from other sources, all without moving the data around.
And that's crucial, especially now that so many businesses are adopting that multi-cloud strategy, using different platforms for different things.
Precisely. Data virtualization gives you that unified view across all your cloud platforms, simplifies data management and analytics.
Now, another area that's getting a lot of attention is the Internet of Things, IoT. We have all these connected devices generating tons of data. How does data virtualization fit into that?
Data virtualization is crucial for making sense of all that IoT data. You can connect to your IoT devices, capture the data they generate, and then integrate it with data from other sources. It gives you a much more holistic view of your operations.
So, for example, a manufacturing company could combine, sensor data from their production line with data from their ERP system. Optimize their processes, identify potential issues before they become big problems.
Exactly. Or a logistics company could combine GPS data from their trucks with traffic data, weather information, to optimize routes, improve efficiency.
It's about connecting the dots, using the data for real-time insights and actions.
Precisely. And data virtualization gives you the flexibility and agility to do that without having to build those complex and expensive data pipelines.
Now, one final thought I want to touch on is this concept of a data catalog or a data marketplace. We talked about it earlier with Festo. Can you elaborate on how data virtualization enables these data marketplaces?
Sure. A data catalog or marketplace is essentially a central repository for all your data assets. It's a single place where users can discover, understand, and access data from across the organization.
So it's like a library for your data, with all the information you need to find and use that data effectively.
That's a great analogy. And data virtualization makes it very easy to create and maintain these catalogs. You connect to all your data sources, extract metadata, create a unified view of all your data assets. Some platforms even have, built-in data catalog features. Makes it even easier to manage and share your data.
It's not just about accessing data, it's about making it discoverable, usable for everyone in the organization.
Exactly. And that's a key step in becoming a truly data-driven organization.
This has been a really insightful look at data virtualization. We've covered the basic concepts, the technical details, the real-world applications, but I'm sure our listeners still have some questions.
Of course. And we're here to address those and provide more clarity.
Great. Let's move on to our final segment where we'll talk about some common concerns and considerations related to data virtualization. So let's talk security. Whenever any new tech comes up, especially something as powerful as data virtualization, security is always a top concern. How does data virtualization make our data more secure?
Well, it's not just about making it more secure. It's actually a whole different way to think about security. See, with data virtualization, you're not moving the data itself. You're creating this virtual access layer. So what that means is you have one central point to manage all your security policies, even if your data is spread across all these different systems, on premises, in the cloud, everywhere.
This is like having one security checkpoint for all your data, no matter where it's actually stored.
Exactly. And that makes it so much easier to enforce those consistent security policies. You can monitor who's accessing what, and it really helps you comply with those increasingly strict data privacy regulations we keep hearing about.
That makes sense. And speaking of regulations, I know a lot of businesses, especially in those heavily regulated industries, they worry about compliance. How does data virtualization help with that?
There are a couple of key ways data virtualization can help you meet those compliance requirements. First, like we just talked about, it gives you that centralized control over data access, which is so important for showing auditors that you're compliant. You can track who's accessing what data, when they accessed it, and what they used it for. That kind of auditing and monitoring, that's essential for meeting regulations like GDPR.
So it's not just about securing the data, it's about proving that you're handling it the right way, according to the rules.
Exactly. And the second way data virtualization can help with compliance is by making it much easier to mask or anonymize sensitive data. This is really important for regulations that restrict the use of, personally identifiable information.
So you can actually control what data is visible to whom, even within the same data set. That means you can share data more freely while still protecting that sensitive information.
Precisely. Data virtualization gives you that flexibility to balance data access with data privacy, which is so essential in today's world.
Okay, let's talk practicality for a minute. A lot of people are probably wondering about the cost of all this. Data virtualization sounds powerful, but is it affordable for businesses of all sizes?
It's a good question. And like with most things, it depends. The cost can vary, depending on how complex your data environment is, how many data sources you need to integrate, and the features you need in your platform. But in general, data virtualization can be surprisingly cost-effective, especially compared to the alternatives.
So what you're saying is it might actually be more expensive to stick with those traditional data integration methods like ETL, where you're moving and replicating data, which can be very costly and time-consuming.
Absolutely. With data virtualization, you're getting rid of those data movement costs. You're also simplifying your data architecture, which can lower your overall IT costs.
And just the time savings alone would be huge. Your IT team can focus on more important things.
Exactly. So yes, there is an initial investment to set up data virtualization, but the long-term savings and efficiency gains are often worth it.
This has been a fantastic deep dive into the world of data virtualization. We've explored the technology, looked at real-world examples, and even talked about some of the concerns businesses might have. It's clear that data virtualization is a real game changer. It has the power to completely transform how businesses use their data. Any final thoughts for our listeners as they think about their own data journey?
As you start exploring data virtualization, remember, it's not just about the tech itself. It's about making your whole organization more data-driven. Think about the business problems you want to solve, the insights you're looking for, the value you want to create. Data virtualization can help you unlock all of that.
Well said. Thanks for joining us today on The Deep Dive. We hope you learned something new about data virtualization. Until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep diving deep into the world of data.